let's talk about cheaters on Hypixel. I have a story time, okay? There's actually a story here. I'm not just gonna complain, but I want to tell a little bit of an expanded story here, okay? I've been told to complain more, so that's what I'm gonna do. So one of the main reasons I quit Bedwars a couple years back was because there was a lot of cheating. And for me, being high ping and all, it was already a rough experience, but having somebody cheat just always made things worse. I always spent the time to learn how to be good at 1.8 PvP, and even though my gameplay is a little questionable now, I think I'm okay. But this story begins just a couple days ago. I was trying to make some footage, I wanted to do this whole weekly series. I'm here second week in a row. Can I get some claps in the comments section? But I was just getting some footage casually, and while I was sitting in a lobby, somebody invited me to their party. And I thought, okay, this happens sometimes. Let's just see what's going on, right? Well, I ended up in a large party. There was like 16 people in it. Everyone's talking like crazy. There's this person in it just like sponsoring the event, apparently. Excuse the train in the background. And it was this really interesting experience of just playing with a bunch of strangers and doing private games and arcade games. And they invited me to a Discord server, and I thought it was going to be cool. But before I really continue on that part of the story, Hypixel has always had this thing called Watchdog. Not always, but for as long as I've played it. And Watchdog is meant to be this really cool system that keeps track of what you're doing in it. It's meant to be able to detect cheaters and ban them, And for the most part, it does an okay job. If you're using an auto clicker, clicking 50 clicks a second, it's going to detect you. If you're trying to fly across the map, it'll detect you. And if you install some of the most popular hacked clients you can find on Google, it will also probably ban you immediately. So that's pretty sweet, right? But the more advanced cheats, and I'm not even saying crazy good fancy anonymous hacker man cheats, I'm talking about ones that you can buy for $50, they can bypass a lot of the Hypixel stuff. And when I used to play a bunch, it was really bad. You could have people just spinning around you, flying in a circle while hitting you. You could have people just take 0 knockback at all. You could have people they could sprint in a straight line and a bridge would be placed underneath them. And that was terrible. But nowadays, that's meant to be mitigated. It's meant to be gone. It's meant to be fixed by this new predictive algorithm. And yeah, for the most part, I will say that the cheaters are less common. I'll also say that of the cheaters I've seen, them a lot more subtle about it. A lot of them are now just using cheats that kind of look legitimate. Ones that, you look at them, you go, are they just really good at the game? Or do they have something on their computer? And the answer is probably both. Because a lot of top tier players who are genuinely good at the game and better than me, a lot of them are also cheating. Man, hell IQ, what? Anyway, so with the story in mind, I'm thinking, yeah, most Hypixel cheaters gone. I reported some the other day and they even got banned within half an hour, and I was pretty amazed by that. That was pretty good and all. But some of these people in this party that I got invited into were a little bit weird. We seemed fine in arcade games. We seemed fine in some of the other stuff. I joined the Discord server and they're trying to code their own client, Luna client. I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's really sweet, right? That's pretty sick. But as I started playing with them and talking with them, I realized that they were cheating. It started off with someone taking no knockback. Then it started with them bridging just a little weird and a little fast. And then they accused me of cheating when I was clicking really fast and I did a 2-block clutch, which isn't anything insane, but it is impressive nonetheless. And I thought, wow, these guys are weird. And then they start asking about hacked clients, and they started asking about stuff. So I'm role-playing and I'm thinking, I know at least one cheat. I'll see what they're using. And I'd be like, yeah, you guys are using Inhaler client? And they're like, yeah, I am. And I'm like, ah, cool. And you have velocity on at 30%? And they're like, oh yeah, no, it's actually 20%. And they started just kind of telling me all the settings that they were using and what bypasses Hypixel. And basically, a lot of stuff still bypasses Hypixel. You can get away with a good amount that gives you a good advantage. Of course, you're not going to do the crazy stuff anymore. You're not going to fly around. But these people are still just playing. And playing and playing. Then I was talking to them. I'm like, don't you get banned? And they're like, oh yeah, we do eventually. The moderators cop on, or Watchdog catches us because, You know, they're always going to detect, like, reach, for example. Think about reach. That's a cheat where you can hit people from further away than you should normally be able to. In the case of reach, right, the server just has to go, how many blocks away is person from other person? Do a little bit of extra math for, like, you know, latency, like, oh, you know, they're lagging, whatever. And then you go, oh, the answer's 10 blocks. Okay, they're clearly cheating, right? Simple. But a lot of these people who are already in, like, the Darklands, you know, they've already been converted to the Sith, so to speak. They don't even care. You ban them, and they will buy a stolen account or, like, a credit card fraud account, and then just keep playing. Look, I'm not trying to promote cheats here. I'm not trying to say that it's easy or that Hypixel is bad, but there is a rampant problem. It's impossible to fix for a game like Minecraft unless you start doing really invasive stuff, but it exists, and it kind of sucks. And then, like, I think one last thing, I kind of just wanted to share that. I don't really have much else to go off. I just want to, you know, 2 weeks in a row, you know, let's go, videos, right? But the other thing is, I know that there's some drama at the moment. I try and keep out of the Minecraft scene, you know, half of it's like, hey, this guy's a predator this week, and hey, this other person's a predator, and repeat. But aside from that, I know that there's a big one about somebody called Marlow in, like, the 1.9 plus PvP space. I don't really know the drama there. I know that there's, like, staff, people have been saying things, and there's this huge ranked community. And if you're interested in hearing about that, I might do another one of these talky talk videos about that. Just let me know, leave a comment, literally just be like, hey Ben, I'd love to hear about that. Or if you want, like, a bigger commentary video, maybe I'll do that on the real commentary channel and not the Ben's trying to have a scheduled channel. I don't know, but I think it's kind of insane to think about how much people care about the scene. Like, I'm a competitive person and I like winning, and I like to show you guys games where I win and do cool things. But some people are making it life or death, and we shouldn't be setting death threats to people just because they're being an idiot child who wants to cheat in a video game. I mean, when there's prize money involved, it's a different story altogether. But yeah. And before you go, oh Ben, you must cheat now, right? Because you're aware of the settings and things. No, I like being good at things, right? For me, enjoyment comes out of, like, learning how to do stuff. I did a God bridge the other day, right? I did a real, honest to God, true God bridge, and that felt really cool. You know, I was clicking my mouse fast, I was getting the timing right, and I was sick. But if I cheated to do that, then all I would have done is, like, held down right click, and that would have been dumb. I don't know, I'm probably going to cut that part out. It didn't really sound right, but yeah. Leave a comment if you want me to talk about some other topic, and I probably will. Thanks for watching.